Alright, New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Bureau Release Prevention Guide to Inspection and Testing Above Ground Storage Tanks. First issue July 1995, last revised September 2016. Table of Contents, Introduction, page 1, Testing New Tanks, tanks entering hazardous substance surfaces, subsequent testing all tanks under any test protocol, field erected above ground storage tanks operated at atmospheric pressure, field erected steel above ground storage tanks operated under pressure, shop built steel above ground storage tanks, fiberglass reinforced plastic above ground storage tanks, homogeneous plastic tanks, other integrity in testing options, transmission between testing protocol, what needs to be go in with DPCC plan, integrity testing report checklist, web links, organizational mention, and guidance document appendix. Introduction. New Jersey Administrative Code 71E discharge petroleum other hazardous substance specifying testing and inspection requirements above ground storage tanks over 2,000 gallons of capacity which contain hazardous substance identified pursuant with the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E Set 1.7. This standards apply to major facilities defined in the Jersey Administrative Code 71E 1.6 mentioned in the Bureau of Release Prevention, otherwise the Bureau. Tank testing and inspection requirements formerly formed with the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E 2.2a, revised entirety effective January 27, 2007. Now located in New Jersey Administrative Code 71E 216. Purpose of the guidance to assist the regulated community in complying with the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E 216. Storage tanks some facilities have measured alternative to regulatory requirements where they are approved the provision in New Jersey Administrative Code 71E 111E, pursuant with the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E 4149B. As part of the plan renewal, owner operated with the facility either submits certification alternative measures pursuant with the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E 111. Such tank integrity testing method intervals beginning with the particular tank. Each compliance with the current requirement of the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E, or else will submit the revisions to the plan. The Department of Environmental Protection or the Department evaluates submitted information as part of the review of the planning renewal, taking into consideration the original reason for the granting alternative measures as well as result of any recently completed inspection. In addition, New Jersey Administrative Code 71E 216.1 establishes the owner and operator can propose the protocol testing with the department for approval. Various industrial developed standards have been incorporated to reference New Jersey Administrative Code 71E 216. This document describes the standards of self-defined testing protocol along with our application of various types of tanks. The appendix provides web links to where the standard can be obtained, but the department does not provide copies for these standards. The guidance may be prepared with a regulated community selecting method of integrity testing with a demonstrated the compliance with the rules mentioned. Any of the trade name or commercial product of the document does not include endorsement of product by department. Any questions regarding inspection testing above ground storage tanks and may be directed with the Bureau of Release Prevention, New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, P.O. Box 420, mailing code 2203D, Trenton, New Jersey 086250420, and by telephone 609-633-60610. Alright, testing new tanks and tanks entering hazardous substance surfaces for the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E 216B requires above ground storage tanks over 2,000 gallons of capacity installed and placed in service on or after July 26, 1990. Subject to integrity testing prior to being placed in service of hazardous substance storage. This includes newly installed but relocated on site regardless of the material construction. New field erected storage tanks must be tested in accordance with the standards used for the construction. For example, the American Petroleum Institute Standard 650, while the tanks for oil storage API 620. Some construction large welded low pressure storage tanks include testing procedures to be used for the completion of the construction. Existing storage tanks that were not in hazardous substance service if they're going to be brought into hazardous substance service must be tested in accordance with applicable protocol contained in the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E 216. To have the subsequent testing section of this document. Shop built storage tanks typically undergo testing with the manufacturer site with the fabrication based on the standard of the relates to the tank of the manufacturer. For example, the Underwriter Laboratory Standard 142 steel above ground tanks, flammable, combustible liquid addition, and shop built storage tanks must be tested after installation of the on site, including relocation of the tank on site, with ensure the continued integrity of the tank evolving connections using the tests of the pneumatic and static head test. The static test measure the stability of the volume of the liquid filled at least 75% of the capacity over the minimum of 24 hours if the temperature fluctuations are likely to occur, as when the tank of the outdoors, the volume of the correction factor is required to determine if the standard adjusting of the volume of the 60-degree Fahrenheit correction factor is calculated with accordance with the API manual petroleum stamp measurement standards. If the beginning of the ending of the temperature adjusts the level of readings of 0.2% of each other non-abnormal conditions observed, the newly installed or reinstalled shop-built tank has been successfully passed the static head test. Modification of the procedure may be applicable with contact with the Bureau for the review and approval of the modification prior to the implementation. Pneumatic testing is inherently more hazardous than static testing of liquid. Precautions should be taken to protect the personnel with adjacent of the property method. The API Standard 650, the ASME Boiler Vessel Code, Section 8, Divisions 1 or 2, for the containment of the procedure properly conducting a pneumatic test. The Steel Tank Institute, with the recommended practice R912, shop fabricated stationary above ground storage tank for flammable combustible liquids installation instruction, also containing the pressure test for the procedure for the single and double walled tanks. Any tank that becomes the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E as a result of the regulatory changes of the result of the change of the facility should increase storage capacity, undergo integrity testing, and immediately with upon with the TBHS program described in the subsequent testing section of this document. Alright, subsequent testing. Subsequent testing must be performed and specified with the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E216D through I, with the testing with the may be performed depends on the material construction with the tank, whether the tank is shop built, with the field erected. All tank under any test protocol during the external and internal visual inspection required under any of the testing protocol. The tank inspector looks for the sign of the make and indicate with the threat and storage integrity of the base of the tank. The material for the construction may include, but not limited to, cracks, discolorization, stain, leaks, corrosion, erosion, settlement, delamination, deformation. The external inspection must be included with the inspection of the support structure and appurtenances as appropriate, required with the standard of the qualified professional engineer. The API certified inspector, STI certified inspector reviews the result of the integrity test with the internal visual inspection to ensure that the tanks fit in with the first surface. The integrity of the test internal inspection result will indicate significant deterioration in structural strength. The other side of the tank without sound of the tank must be empty, with either repaired or removed this from surface. The New Jersey Administrative Code 71E216-1. If none of the outlined protocol with integrity of the testing is found to be applicable for the particular tank, but the alternative protocol may be proposed with the department. If an alternative method of integrity will be used, particularly tank under the provision New Jersey Administrative Code 71E216-1 and 111E, the method must be clearly described with the facility approved discharge prevention contamination countermeasure plan prior to the implementation. Explanation as to why none of the outlined protocols are practical must include in this plan. Silos holding hazardous substances that solids must undergo integrity testing by the provision New Jersey Administrative Code 71E216-1 as explained above. It is important not to for the date with the subsequent testing based on the date of the last step of the inspection, not with the date of the tank was placed in the service, with the date of the inspection report was issued. The addition of the inspection must be conducted with the schedule pursuant applicable protocol if the tanks are empty but not out of the service per definition found by the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E1.6. If there are any questions concerning with regard to this matter, please contact the Bureau. Field erected steel above ground tanks operated at atmospheric pressure. Field erected above ground storage tanks operated with the atmospheric pressure must follow inspection maintenance program compliant with the most current API standard 653 for the tank inspection, repair, alteration, reconstruction. However, similar risk based with the inspection scheduling described by the API 653 are not permitted. The inspection schedule for each of the tank must be included with the facility of the discharge prevention contamination countermeasure plan. API 653 maintenance inspection program are adopted and revised with the American Petroleum Institute, provide with the ongoing assessment of the facility storage tank of the facility must follow with all the procedure maintenance with the inspection outlined with the API 653 standard. Perform any repairs recommended by the authorized inspector in order to the API 653 show compliance with the integrity testing of the New Jersey Administrative Code 701E216. For major components of the integrity testing and portion of the API 653 filed with the routine monthly in-service inspection, external inspection, ultrasonic thickness inspection, internal inspection. A recommendation noted that the authorized inspector for the containment of the inspection reports must be addressed for the API 653 standard, but the findings of the repairs must be documented and specified by API 653. The department discharge prevention control, contamination control, countermeasure plan for some facilities that indicate that the internal inspection is not required under API 653 if the tank is horizontal raised for the tail. With the API 653 section 65 state that in this case of the construction side with the other aspects of the external tank, active of the tank bottom, but determine the bottom thickness of the external inspection with the internal inspection allowed with the meet with the document data requirement to table the 4.4 for the bottom plate with the minimum thickness. However, in this case of the consideration maintenance within the items must be dictated by the internal inspection reviews. Intervals supplied with the API 653 does not give the blanket waiver from the internal inspection of the top of the tank. Instead, each tank is reviewed individually with the API 653 authorized inspector determined whether the internal inspection is required, and if so, what is the interval. Please note, simple testing of the tank using the techniques described with the API 653 is not equivalent. Having inspection maintenance programs complying with the API 653 ultrasonic thickness testing performed the API 653 standards. No established storage tank with the full complying with the API 653 merely state that the procedure performing the tests were conducted following with the protocol for the ultrasonic testing. Tests contained the API 653. Field erected steel above ground storage tanks are operated under pressure. Field erected steel above ground storage tanks operated under pressure with the must file with the API 510 pressure vessel inspection code and service inspection rating and repair and alteration. This includes tanks not containing liquids as well. The tanks containing gaseous hazardous substances included but not limited to the anhydrous ammonia and chlorine. Please note that the tank of the construction with the pressure vessel is operated with the atmospheric pressure. In New Jersey Administrative Code 701E216D does not allow the use of the API 510. API 510 maintenance, inspection, rating, repair, and alteration standard for the pressure vessels is applicable to the vessel construction maintained in accordance with the American Society of Mechanical Engineers Section 8 and other recognized pressure vessel codes. Facilities following the American Petroleum Institute 510 inspection standards must follow all of the aspects of the current edition of the code. This includes but not limited to the maintenance, repair, and alteration inspection of these tanks. These major components for the integrity testing portion of the American Petroleum Institute 510 are internal inspection and external inspection. On-stream inspection be substituted with the internal inspection recommendation. Authorized inspector if all the requirements are met. Justification on-stream inspection must be documented as part of the inspection. All recommendation over the authorized inspector contained with the inspection report must be addressed in accordance with the American Petroleum Institute 510 standard. With the findings repairing them must be documented and specified by American Petroleum Institute 510. Shop-built steel above-ground tanks. Shop-built steel above-ground tanks operated with the atmospheric pressure must follow the inspection maintenance program with complying with the current edition with the API 653 STI standard SP001 standard with the inspection above-ground tank. For shop-built steel with above-ground storage tank that operated under pressure, the owner and operator may propose to appropriate integrity testing protocol with the department in accordance with the New Jersey Administrative Code 701E216.1 and 111E with the American Petroleum Institute 510 may be applicable to these type of the tanks. The STI SP001 is applicable for the double-walled storage tanks as well as single-walled tanks. API 653 is not applicable for the double-walled storage tanks. STI SP001 it requires ownership to do self-inspection, critical or utilization information table of Section 5 of the standard with this inspection schedule for each of the tank include the facility of the DPCC plant. STI SP001 requires above-ground storage tank inspection for all tanks regardless of the tank size of the configuration. All of the components may or may not be applicable to the particular tank. Please note that the determining of the category of the tank of the department does not consider the above-ground storage tank of the concrete base for the test tail with some of the tank of leak detection means for the definition of the continuous release detection monitoring for the tank deemed for the category 1 meaning for the achieved spill of the control of the continuous release of the detection inspection monitoring must be independent within each of the components of the integrity testing portion. SDI SP001, particular tank with a dependent on the side of the category of the tank of the major components is filed with the periodic above ground storage tank inspection, formal and external inspection, formal internal inspection, leak test. The periodic above ground storage tank inspection consists of both monthly and annual inspection checklists. Each of the tank must be completely retained with the above ground storage tank record must be filled with a maintained site with each for the tank with the documents are provided with the appendix C with the SDI SP001. Important above. Note that the SDI SP001 specified the documents retained with the 36 month with the inspection date with the note. However, the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E215D require that the regards integrity testing inspection requirement or repairs may be maintained a lifetime of the tank. Therefore, SDI SP001 36 month time frame does not meet the purpose of this program. Fiberglass reinforced tanks, fiberglass reinforced plastic above ground storage tanks. Fiberglass reinforced plastic above ground storage tanks must undergo the integrity testing every 5 years, consistently acoustic emission with its testing within accordance with the ASTM International Standard E1067. The standard practical for the acoustic emission with examination fiberglass reinforced plastic resin tank and vessels, a combination internal and external inspection of the tank and all prudent and structure with experience with a qualified inspector. The ASTM E1067 is the standard practice for the acoustic emission with examination of the fiberglass reinforced plastic tanks applies to both new and in-service equipment. Current version of the American Society of Testing Materials E1067 must be used. Homogeneous plastic tanks. Homogeneous plastic tanks must undergo integrity testing every 5 years, consisting of internal and external visual inspection of the tank. All prudent structures are experienced and qualified inspector. Other integrity testing option. If the particular tank does not follow the one over the established category for the specific testing protocol mandated, maybe the alternative established integrity testing protocol otherwise necessary with the integrity testing must perform every 5 years include the following: shelf thickness test of the bottom thickness test of the visual inspection of the testing tank exterior of the visual inspection foundation ancillary equipment. The shelf thickness test and the bottom thickness test must be performed in standard with the ASME boiler vessel code section 5. And non-destructive examination must be capable of detecting corrosion, erosion, other wall bottom thickness thinning to the less of the predetermined thickness of the interior of the position structural tank at the time of the bottom thickness test zone. From the tank interior of the visual inspection tank interior, looking for the cracks and similar problems that should also be performed. Owners and operators from the option should not expect that any the aspect of the inspection program, including bottom thickness of the test, will be granted any extension beyond the regulatory requirements of 5 years. If the tank on legs is salved, such for the thickness of the test performed with the entire tank for the outside of the tank entire entry may be not required. However, the tank at the bottom of the ground and otherwise accessible for the outside of the tank of the bottom thickness test will be needed for the performance of these inside of the tank. Robotic rather than human tank entry is applicable for the tank side of the configuration. Contents allowed with this option. Transition between testing and protocols. If the owner and operator decides to change the tank inspection testing protocol, he or she must first obtain approval of the form of the planning and amendment planning renewal prior to the implement of the new integrity of the testing protocol. Baseline set of the inspection must be established by the DPCC plan. Following are some examples of the transmission between the integrity testing protocol. 5-year program API 653 and STI SP001. Next formal external inspection date must be based on the last ultrasonic testing date. Next leak test date must be based on the last leak test date. Static head testing, acoustic emission testing. Next internal inspection date must be the internal inspection date. If no prior ultrasonic testing, leak test, internal inspection was performed, a baseline must be established indicating the DPCC plan. Monthly annual periodic inspection must begin immediately upon removal of the plan and amendment of the planning renewal. 5 years program to the API 653. The performance of the routine and service inspection must begin with immediately upon the approval of the plan amendment of the plan renewal. The external inspection must conduct for every 5 years for the previous external inspection date. Ultrasonic thickness inspection must be conducted for the 5 years for the date of the previous ultrasonic inspection of the tank shell. Internal inspection must be conducted within 10 years of the previous ultrasonic testing date with the tank at the bottom. Alternative programs or protocol for the list with the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E216D through G. Inspection dates for the ultrasonic testing of the tank shell with the tank bottom with the applicable for the most 5 years for the previous ultrasonic testing inspection tank shell with the tank bottom. Acoustic emission testing is applicable. Must be conducted within 5 years of the previous acoustic emission testing. External inspection tank with the F applicable must be conducted within 5 years after the previous external inspection. Internal inspection tank with the applicable must be conducted within 5 years from the previous internal inspection. What needs to go into a DPP discharge prevention contamination countermeasure plan to meet the requirements of the schedule for the integrity of the DPCC plan for all the testing protocol month of the year for the completed for the next scheduled inspection for the individual tank must provide with each of the required tests. If the tank of the transition one inspection protocol for the note of the date of the inspection for the perform of the previous protocol may continue to meet for the plan with the next plan with renewal until the one of the full inspection cycle has been completed. It is only recommended with the table to utilize the clearly present with the integrity testing schedule API 653 protocol. The following information for the testing date must be provided. Monthly routine. The insert for the inspection must be included with the part of the description of the integrity of the testing protocol. Individual dates are not required. External inspection, ultrasound thickness inspection, and internal inspection. If any of these tests are combined with the performed on the same date, make it clear with this plan. American Petroleum Institute 510 protocol. The following information test dates must provide internal inspection, external inspection, and internal inspection on-stream inspection. If the tank is construed with a pressure vessel that is not being used as a pressure vessel, then a justification must include with the plan with the American Petroleum Institute 510. The STI SP001 protocol. The following information from the date provided with the category 1, 2, or 3 of the tank with the falls from the under STI SP001 must include with the plan be covered the basis for the particular testing inspection frequency with the inspection performed. The justification determined with the tank of the particular category must also include in this plan with the plans clearly stated with the STI SP001 monthly inspection checklist will be complete with the monthly of the each tank with the plan must be dated with the month of the annual inspection performed each year. With this included the date of the formal and external inspection, leak test, and internal inspection is required. Protocol for the fiberglass reinforcement plastic tanks. They must be clearly shown as following with the test dates. Acoustic emission for the ASTM E1067 that tested with the internal visual inspection, external visual inspection, including apparatus improvement structures. Protocol with the homogeneous plastic tanks plans must be clearly show the following testing dates: internal visual inspection, external visual inspection, improvement structure. 5-year testing protocol under New Jersey Administrative Code 71E216H of the plan must be clearly show the test date for the following item: tank shell, ultrasonic thickness, tank bottom, ultrasonic thickness, visual inspection, tank interior, foundation, auxiliary equipment, and pipe and valves. Alternative protocol with the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E216-1. Plan must be clearly scheduled performance with all the test inspection addition with include with the plan justification number of the protocol with integrity with the testing outline with the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E216D through H are practical with a particular storage tank. Integrity testing reports and checklists. Integrity testing report checklist must be kept a lifetime of the tank. Should consider the following component of the tank with the major facility, name of the major facility of the tank, identification, test method, the day of the testing inspection result, with including the data calculation of the day of the next test is applicable. The recommendation include any of the necessary immediate action, name of the installation, with the person with the provided with the report inspection qualifications applicable. Report formats provided with the API 653 and STI SP001 are applicable as long with above the information included with the checklist applicable the must believe with the retain each tank with the again with the important with the STI SP001 specified for the checklist with it being retained for 36 months from the inspection date. However, the New Jersey Administrative Code 71E215D required for the record with the integrity of the testing inspection repair must be maintained the lifetime of the tank. Therefore, the 36-month time frame is described for the purpose of the program. Show for the appendix what links above organization mentioned for the guidelines: American Petroleum Institute, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, Underwriter Laboratory, Steel Tank Institute, the American Society Testing Materials International, known as ASTM Testing Materials.